plasma and smooth metal. A little information about me first. I'm currently studying towards second year chemistry and I've always had a great interest in dissociative substances. I first tried ketamine roughly 4 years ago and have developed a moderate usage habit since, around 2 to 4 grams per month. I have extensive experience with ketamine, nitrous, methoxetamine, and have 3 experiences with 4-MeO PCP. In my opinion, I find that nothing has compared in magnitude of incredible experiences to ketamine, and that methoxetamine, 4-MeO PCP, and the such are just easily available but not so good replacements. Don't get me wrong, I've had great experiences with methoxetamine and 4-MeO PCP, but still feel there is something glaring missing from their experiences. Hopefully, with the acquisition of 50 mg 3-MeO PCP from a highly trusted source, I will be able to find a little gem within the chaos that many call the current research chemicals market. After some major derping about on the postal system's part, I received the package today and opened to find a small bag of pure white powder. Here is the trip report as I experienced the effects. My weight was 55 kilos or 125 pounds. The route of administration was sublingual, held for a few minutes, then washed down with water. The dosage, there was an initial trial, 10 milligrams, a 25 milligram booster, and then 15 milligrams to finish. The mindset, I had an excellent mood, had been anticipating trying this substance, although a little tired from a long day in college, nothing to do tomorrow apart from spend time relaxing at home. Experiment begin. 5:55 p.m. 10 milligrams is weighed accurately by difference and placed under the tongue for 2 minutes. Powder sticks to everything, so care is taken not to spill it. The amount of powder is minuscule. Last meal was at 12:45 p.m. 10 minutes in. Possibly first alerts, feeling slightly wobbly, could be a placebo or quick first effects from sublingual ROA, walking to the station to go see a showing of Persian music with my mom. 20 minutes in. Feeling some body warmth and a slight unreality to the train journey. Music may sound slightly enhanced and I've gotten a smile on my face. Main effects haven't seemed to materialize at this point. From what I've read, it may be an hour or longer until it fully kicks in. Not sure if this substance cross-tolerates with any other dissociative. My main concern is cross-tolerance with methoxetamine and ketamine, but I haven't used a dissociative in a couple of weeks. 45 minutes in. Definite increase in effects. Everything feels slowed down. Time feels dilated. Typing on my phone seems to take an age to complete a sentence. Reading has become difficult on the tube, and walking to the next platform has become slightly wobbly and off balance. Walking along a flat, airport-style conveyor belt in Waterloo Station is great fun. There's a building sense of wonder in everything around me, and things look odd, but not threatening. Very excited, still got a smile on my face. 53 minutes in. Effects still increasing. Being packed onto a rush hour train was disorienting, but highly amusing. I kept getting the urge to laugh out loud. This is unlike ketamine, which makes me feel extremely awkward and alien in public, especially on brightly lit trains. Not entirely sure how much more the trip is going to develop, but I am about to meet my mom, so we shall see how the conversation holds up. Skin is feeling slightly tingly, and depth perception is certainly on the blink. Going up in the lift was a bizarre experience. An hour and 12 minutes in. Just got to the theater to see the music, feeling excellent. Conversation is flowing freely and mood is greatly improved. A slight sense of motion is noticed, but nothing overpowering, a perfect dose for being in public and communicating with others. I have noticed slight muscle twitching and cramping, but nothing major. There's a slight sensation of shifting/motion and the occasional visual flicker. 2 hours 45 minutes in. Just got out one of the most incredible musical performances I've ever seen. The music was fantastic and the atmosphere was electric. The musicians seemed to have an almost telepathic communication, and the way they interacted was very special. The effects of the drug plateaued a couple of songs into the performance, and getting out I realized I am still slightly off balance and speech is slightly impaired. If anything, it seemed the music enhanced the drug. No other effects materialize. I stop here and it's highly likely I will redose a higher amount when I get home to continue the experiment. 5 hours 20 minutes in, 11:15 p.m. I have just arrived home and about to redose this highly interesting compound to better explore its effects. In a more stable environment, I believe I will be able to investigate better. 25 milligrams was weighed accurately by difference and placed under the tongue for 4 minutes. The dose was then washed down with water. The chemical taste is more noticeable and is very, but not overpoweringly, burnt/bitter. I had a meal about an hour ago, just before 10 p.m., so my stomach is fairly full. 5 hours 35 minutes in. A sudden sharpening of the vision announces the beginning. Something has definitely changed, but I can't define what. Still have a slight bitter taste in the mouth from the sublingual dose. I believe I'm in for a ride. Some nausea present, but nothing unmanageable. May have something to do with the fact I ate so recently. 6 hours 5 minutes in. 30 minutes later and I still feel on the cusp of something big. Somewhat frustrating, but I am going to wait at least an hour before the redose to even consider taking the rest. 6 hours 20 minutes in. Effects seem to be increasing slowly but steadily. There's a definite warp in perception, but seems very colorful and sharp. Everything seems to have taken on a very slight motion, and I'm suddenly finding things fascinating. Noticeable wobble in my walk, and I feel a warmth, or a numbness, at my forehead and extremities. The token dissociative static hiss is present now, and its volume seems to be increasing. Nothing major yet, but I am getting extremely impatient, and am considering doing the rest, 15 milligrams, to kick it up a notch. 6 hours 35 minutes in. Lost my patience and dosed the last 15 milligrams of the 50 milligrams I have. Hopefully I'll really see this compound shine now. The last 15 milligrams was administered sublingually and held this time for 5 minutes before washing down with water. 6 hours 45 minutes in. Currently feels like a low-dose methoxetamine trip, but much sharper. Objects seem very well defined, and there seems to be a building euphoria. I can make out the individual cracks in my skin as I am typing, quite unlike any dissociative I have ever done before. Considering the amount I have taken, this seems to be a light trip so far, but I'm expecting more, I hope. Very slow to build, but may have something to do with the full stomach issue earlier. 7 hours in. I'm in a nice place right now, feeling very warm and woozy, but I'm still somewhat disappointed with the lack of major effects. Hopefully effects will increase, but I am unsure to what degree. Feeling very tingly and there's a slight pressure on my temples. Nothing groundbreaking. 7 hours 10 minutes in. Everything is simultaneously wavy but sharp, unsure if effects are still increasing or not. This drug has a very high definition feel about it, very crisp, clear. Seems like these are the peak effects, and judging by the fact I can still type properly, I think I have reached a plateau. Exciting effects, but not enough material to explore this properly. Not to be disappointed, I believe this material has great potential and will conduct another experiment next weekend. 7 hours 30 minutes in. Oh wait, I suddenly realize I am pretty gone. Typing and expressing words has become difficult. There's a definite buzz to this, but I am having quite fun reporting it down. I'm watching video walkthroughs of the game Toonby and alternating between the two. Oh, there's a very nice pressure on my head, and I've got great energy. Should I try to make some music maybe? 7 hours 45 minutes in. Music production greatly hindered, getting the same feelings coming down from methoxetamine, but with a much smoother ride. Feels much more friendly. 8 hours 50 minutes in. Still coming down from this compound, still feel great. Very bubbly. I have to say I doubted it. Nice stuff. The morning after. In retrospect, this is a very special compound. It has all the basics there for an essential dissociative, but it also has a real sparkle on the side. It definitely whizzes past methoxetamine and certainly 4-MeO PCP. I'm putting this compound right up there at the top along with ketamine and MDMA. There's a very high definition feel to its effects, and I find there's a very interdimensional aspect to the dissociation. More metallic feeling than ketamine certainly, this substance radiates the feeling of smooth metal and plasma. The come-up time was long, being around 1.5 hours in the experiments, although the full stomach may have had a part to do in that, and the plateau I think lasted around 1 to 1.5 hours if I remember correctly. Sleeping was fairly difficult afterwards, but not in any way uncomfortable. 25 milligrams of diphenhydramine was taken to help nudge me in the direction of sleep, which still didn't come for a couple of hours after the last report entry. I experienced some of the most intense and bizarre dreams I've ever had last night, many of which involved fire, being on fire, dreaming I was a pastry in an oven, etc. These were not frightening, but extremely intense and very vivid and colorful, something I think was greatly potentiated by the diphenhydramine taken before bed. To conclude, I cannot wait to experiment with this compound again in a different environment. There's so much potential here, and this has given me a great deal to think about. Physically, I do not feel it put a huge pressure on my system, although my heart rate was increased for the duration of the trip and has not completely returned to normal the day after. I advise caution for anyone who is going to indulge in this, as it is a little research compound. I hope this report has helped map out some new territory. Be safe.